So today we're going to change gears altogether and look at more of the what I call the special sauce of practice, which is the smoothness, the flow, the connection between the movements, and really putting our attention um, in that transitional liminal space. Okay, so let's begin. We'll come up to a standing position. And we'll just start with a little bit of energy cultivation practice, which I think is a really nice way to develop this smoothness, this internal smoothness. So it sort of starts on the energetic level, and then it moves into the physical level with the actual moves we do. So separate your feet a comfortable distance apart so you feel really grounded and centered. Okay. And then I want you to take a breath in as you raise your arms up, and just imagine as you move your arms up, you're going slowly, and it's like you're gathering all of the clutter, all of the confusion, all of the doubt, just everything that disconnects you. And then as you breathe out, just clear all of that out. So you're kind of starting off by just sort of setting the table and clearing that space. Okay, then we'll do that again. So we're going to breathe in as we gather this time. So we're going to gather the qualities of smoothness and focus and attention and health and resilience. And then we'll fill the body with those qualities. And you take several breaths as you do this. Eyes can be opened or closed. And then we'll do one more filling practice. So this time you're going to gather whatever your aspiration is for your practice, whatever intention or focus that you'd like to cultivate, and then fill that aspiration deep into your cells. Good. And when your hands come down about the level of your lower belly, we're just going to rest the hands there on the lower belly, right on the center of our axis. Take a couple breaths here, just sort of sealing in that aspiration, that intention. Nice. Okay, and then from here, we'll lower our hands down and we'll do a little joint release series. So we're going to shift our weight over to the right and we're going to circle our left ankle. Nice and smooth, just already starting to cultivate this quality of smoothness with your movements. Imagine like you're almost like you're moving through water, this sensation of this kind of flow through your joints, and then go the other way. And, it's fairly true. We're composed mostly of water, at least 70% fluid by nature. So getting into your fluid body. Good. And then a nice smooth transition over to the left as we circle the right ankle. Getting into the ankle joint and increasing the synovial fluid, that slippery, viscous fluid that allows us to move smoothly, and then go the other way. Just warming up the ankle. Nice. Okay, and then shift your weight back to the center. Walk your feet together and squeeze your knees towards the midline as you take the webbing between your thumb and index fingers on your knees. So thumb come on the inside, four fingers on the outside, squeezing the knees together. We're going to circle through our knees. Just creating some lateral movement through the knees. Good, and then switching directions. You can go as shallow or deep as you like. As you're doing this joint series and as you're doing your practice today, I'd like you to observe the space between your movements, your breath, and the various thoughts that come up as you practice. Okay, and then come back to standing, separate your feet, place your hands on your hips. We're going to move our hips through a circular motion. And switching directions, just bringing some fluidity to the hip joints. Nice. Okay, from here, we're going to arch the spine backwards. You can add your arms into this cactus shape, like you're opening a gate. And then we're going to internally rotate the arms and flex the spine forward. So in the energy practice, it's called opening the gates. You can combine your breath with this movement. If it feels nice to inhale as you arch back and exhale to round forward, or you can switch that. It's working, or you can just breathe comfortably as you move. You can continue with this sort of global movement of flexion and extension in your spine, or if you'd like to add a spinal wave, you can increase the complexity a little bit. Just a little bit more fluidity through the spine. If that feels a little bit clunky or rigid today, just stay with the global movement, moving all the joints of the spine together. The last few times, whether it's a wave or just an arch and a flex. Okay, finish that up. Circle the shoulders now. Isolate the shoulders. Big movements through your shoulder blades on your back. Gliding and switching directions. Nice. Okay, bringing the hands into interlace in front of you. Circle your wrists, warming up your wrists here. Somehow I just sort of end up in a figure 8 pattern, but you could just make it a smooth circle. Whether it's a figure 8 or a circle, you're switching directions, getting all the clicks and the pops out of the wrist. Nice. Okay, keep the interlace in your fingers, turn your palms up. Big stretch. Inhale here, exhale. Bring your little finger size of your hands to your hairline. Pull up on the base of your skull and then arch back through your neck. Good. From here, we're gonna side bend, come forward, using the hands to create a little bit more smoothness in the circle. Sometimes with the hands there, you're less likely to compress and crunch your neck as you go back. It just gives you a little extra kind of buoyancy through the full range in your neck, switching side or switching directions. Okay, very good. Finish up this last direction, lower your hands down. Now we're going to move into a Qigong practice for the 5 phases. This is another great way that we can link breath with movement, simple movements, just to cultivate that smoothness in our energy flow. Okay, so when you're ready, step your feet together. Take a breath in and breathe all the air out. From here, we're going to inhale and step our right foot over to the right. We're going to reach down for the inner knees. Reach the arms up to the rib cage. And as you exhale, bring the hands back down the same pathway. And inhale, raise the arms up to about shoulder height. And then exhale, bring the feet together. So this first form is for our first phase, the wood phase. Wood element is associated with the energy of spring and expansion. And working with your breath here, inhaling up the inner line of the legs to the ribs, exhale down. Simple pattern. Inhale, the arms float, and exhale. So the work here is to cultivate, if you can, that sense of smoothness, that sense of flow. Simple pattern, but we're just looking for kind of the removal of any rough edges in your movements. Inhaling and exhaling. So the wood element, when it's in balance, is all about the application of kindness and compassion, expansive energy. It's associated with the season of spring. And when this element is out of balance, we can feel blocked, stuck. This buildup of agitation or frustration. So just go a couple more times. Creating this smoothness in your movements, in your energy. Tracing the line of the wood meridians that connect with the liver, the gallbladder organs. To finish up this last side that you're doing, imagine that you're moving through water. When you get back to center, separate your feet about hip distance apart. We're going to inhale and we'll gather all of the kindness, the compassion, that expansive energy that we just cultivated. As we exhale, we'll let go of frustration, impatience, agitation, the need to try to get someplace, and just being exactly where you are in your body. You can rest your hands on your lower center of gravity. Just pause for a moment for a breath. Good, and then we'll step the feet back together. We'll move to the next phase. So we're gonna inhale as we step to the right again. We'll bring the little finger sides of the hands up over the head. As we exhale, we'll turn the backs of the palms together and bring the fingers down towards the earth. Inhale, the arms move out to the sides. And then we exhale and we bring the feet back together. So inhale, stepping to the left, little fingers come together. Exhale, moving down the backs of the hands. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale as you step. So this next phase is connected with the fire element. The fire element is associated with the season of summer. When it's in balance, we feel this sense of love and excitement for life, sort of zest for life, joy in the cells of our bodies. When it's out of balance, sometimes we can feel, agitated. Our nervous systems get overstimulated. We have trouble sleeping. Okay, so working here on the level of the nervous system, flowing with the breath in and out. It's like you're moving through water. So cultivating that smoothness. Just keep repeating the pattern at your own pace. If I'm moving too quickly or too slowly, find your own pace. So you know the basic form now. Work with that sense of smoothness. Find your own rhythm. Inhaling and exhaling. Try to make the movements as well as the breath continuous. So right at the end of the inhale, the next exhale starts. And at the end of the exhale, the next inhale starts. So do one more on each side. Connecting to the meridians of the fire element, of the heart, small intestine, soothing the nervous system. Breath be kind of like a balm. Okay, coming back now, separate your feet about hip distance. We're going to inhale, gathering this energy of love and joy. As we exhale, we'll let go of any nervous agitation in the body. So lower the hands down, back down to your center. Just take a breath here, cultivating this peaceful energy in your body. Good. And then we'll step the feet back together again. We'll go to the next form. This one's a little bit more complex, so you can watch the first couple of times if you want, or just follow along. As you breathe in, we're going to inhale and step to the right. We'll offer our hands out to the sides. As you breathe out, it's a circular movement around the front of your body. It's like you're holding a tray with your front hand. Your back hand is turned down. Breathing in, you're going to make a big circle with your front hand, taking the arms out to the sides. And breathing out, your hands come back down. So inhale, we'll step now to the left. Hands go out to the left. And exhale, we're circling around to the front. Inhale, we take a big circle, we sweep, and we exhale and bring the feet back together. So this next form is connected with the earth element phase. Okay, so the earth element, kind of like the center of our axis. It's all about grounding. It's kind of the center of yin and yang, the balanced energy, masculine, feminine in the body. And working with your breath. It's connected with the hinge point, this phase, with the hinge point between summer, late summer and fall. This is right where sort of that fifth season, right where we have kind of the harvest and the sense of abundance and fullness. So when the earth element is in balance, we feel this sense of generosity in our energy, a sense of fullness. And sometimes when it gets out of balance, we can feel overwhelmed by details. Maybe we are prone to worry and anxiety. You're working with that quality of smoothness. Do one more on each side. It's a little bit more complex, three-dimensional form. Do your best here just to focus more on the process of smoothness than on the perfection of the form. Finish up this last side. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. And then from here, we're going to gather the qualities of balance, abundance, generosity. And as we breathe out, we're going to let go of overwhelm, anxiety, worry. Just center the hands back at your physical center of gravity, lower abdominal center. Take a breath here. Nice. Okay, step your feet back together. So the next phase, again on the in breath, we'll step to the right. We're going to reach the arms behind the lungs. As we breathe out, we're bending our knees and pushing the hands forward. Breathing in, straightening the legs, and breathing out, the feet come back together. So inhale, step to the left, reach behind the head, and pushing the hands forward. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, the feet come back together. So this form is connected with the metal element or metal phase, which is associated with autumn or the fall season. The lungs, the large intestine. It's all about our capacity to let go. So it's, when it's in balance, our immune systems are strong, our breath is strong and vital. When it's out of balance, sometimes we have trouble letting go of things. So here, working with this smoothness, breathing in, connecting the in-breath to the out-breath. And as you're doing the movements, see if you can be in that space between the movements, your breath, and the various thoughts that flow through. You're observing all three of those with that quality of smoothness, of flow. Nice. One more time. Imagine that you're moving through water. Good. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. From here, we're going to gather these qualities of strength and courage. And as we breathe out, letting go, anything you're hanging on to, excess sadness, or just releasing what you don't need here. Bringing the hands to your lower abdominal center. Take a breath. Good, and then we'll move to our final form in this series. So bringing the feet together. This time we're going to take a bigger step to the right as we breathe in. We reach the arms up. As you breathe out, hinge from your hips, fold over and reach for the backs of your ankles. Breathing in, bringing the hands up the backs of the legs, making loose fists with your hands. We're going to tap the kidneys in the back. Breathing out, hands come back down the backs of the legs, circling around the inner ankles. Breathing in, come up the inner line of the legs, and then breathing out, step your feet back to the midline. Okay, so breathing in, step to the left, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, backs of the heels. Breathing in, run the hands up the backs of the legs, loose fists, tap your kidneys. Breathing out, flow down the backs of the legs, circle around to your inner ankles. Breathing in, come up the inner line of the legs, and then we'll step back to the center. Okay, we'll keep going with this. So this form is associated with the water element, that quality of smoothness, resilience, and the ability to stick with things. So cultivating that energy. This is the element that's associated with the winter season. And when it's in balance, we feel a sense of vitality in our energy, resilience, the ability to stay with things and have this kind of stick with it quality. When it's out of balance, sometimes we can feel, a lot of fear coming up. It's an ungrounded feeling. Working now with this water element, this fluid element, connecting the movements, tracing up the energy channels of our kidneys, bladder. These are the water organs. Good. Finish up this last one. Good. Stepping the feet back together. Separate them about hip distance apart. From here, we'll gather the energy of resilience, of vitality, perseverance, and breathing out anything, any fear, kind of doubt, insecurity. Really trusting your body here as you bring your hands to your lower abdominal center. Take a breath. Okay, really good. So now we're going to see if we can bring the qualities of that energy practice into the next sequence, okay, which is going to be, the movements will be a bit bigger, but it's not going to change the way that smoothness, that smooth quality of connection to breath and movement. So go ahead and step your feet back together. Okay, I'm going to come to the top of our mats. Feet can be together or slightly apart. On the next inhalation, we're going to reach the arms up. So again, that same quality of moving with your breath. Breathe out, hinge from your hips, fold over, and relax your head. Good. Breathe in, come up halfway and step your right foot back. So you can drop that knee down to the floor or to a blanket. And we're going to inhale as we stretch forward with the chest. Good. Now exhale, plant your palms. We're going to step back. And again, make it about the smoothness. Even if you have to take a couple extra breaths, that's fine. Exhale, drop your knees down to the floor. You can do a simple cat-cow here just to kind of work your spine, or you could go a bit further and dive through and stretch out the front of your body as you breathe in, and then hollow back and up as you breathe out. Okay, so now lifting your hips, we spread our fingers. We'll take one breath in, breathing out. We'll step our right foot up between our hands. A simple form of salutation to the sun. We'll inhale, lift the collarbones and the chest, drop your hips down. And on an exhale, we'll step forward, folding over our legs. Breathing in, press down into the floor, coming all the way up. Smooth connection to the breath. Exhale, float the arms back down by the sides. Good. Breathing in again, raise the arms back up. Breathing out, hinge from your hips, folding over. Breathing in, we'll step the left foot back this time and drop your knee down. You can either stay here, or this time as you breathe in, raise your arms up into a low lunge. Breathing out, smooth connection. Step back, drop your knees. You can do a simple cat-cow, flexion extension to your spine, or flow through, dropping the belly, lift the chest, breathing in, breathing out, smoothly pull back, riding the breath. Let's take one inhale here. On your exhale, step up between your hands, drop your right knee, breathe in, stay here, or raise your arms up. Breathe out, bring the hands to the front foot if they're not already down. Step forward and fold. Breathing in, raise the arms, pushing down. And breathing out, lower the arms down by the sides. Good, keep going now. Breathing in, stretch the arms up. Breath, one movement. Breathing out, fold over. So we're consciously linking the breath. Sometimes we just let the breath be natural. Today we're linking, breathing in, lengthen your spine. Breathing out, now step both feet back. Lower down, exhale. Roll the shoulders back so the collarbones are open. Breathing in, lift the chest, either coming up into a baby, full cobra, or lifting the knees and the tops of the feet, pressing down. Breathing out, move your hips back and up. Pedal your legs out. Let's stay here for a few breaths. You can always drop your knees if you need to. Just working here on that connection, the smooth connection. The breath is continuous. Inhale, flows into exhale. Exhale flows into inhale, uninterrupted. Good. Finish this next out breath as you start to walk your feet up. Inhale up halfway and exhale as you fold. Good. Inhale, pressing into the ground, come all the way up. Remember that energy practice. You're moving with the energy. Exhale. It's like you're lowering your hands through water. Good. One more time. Inhale. Stretch your arms up, pushing down through your feet. Exhale. Hinge from your hips. You can soften your knee joints. It's easier to fold. Find that fluid connection. Inhale up halfway. Exhale. Plant your palms, stepping back. And slowly lower down. Adjust your shoulders back. Inhale, widen through the chest. Lift up through the central column. Exhale, pull back. Cultivating that special sauce, that equanimity in your movements, in your breath. A couple more breaths here. Feel free to shift around, get cozy, get comfortable here. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Good. Last breath in, fill the lungs. Exhale as you start to walk your feet forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale as you fold. Good. Inhale, press the feet, come all the way back up. And exhale, lower the arms down by the sides. Very good. So this time, we're gonna bend the knees and we'll touch down or reach as close to the floor as you can with your fingertips. So a nice kind of half squat position, hips are moving back. We're gonna inhale as we reach the arms up in that half squat position. As you exhale, fold over. Let your head relax. Inhale, step your feet back and lower down as you exhale. Inhale, adjust your shoulders back, lift your chest. Exhale, pull back. At the end of the exhale now, we're gonna step the right foot up between the hands. So you can have the back heel up or down. For today, I'm gonna keep my heel up. We're gonna inhale and reach the arms up. Again, like we're moving through water, connecting the breath with the movement. As we exhale, we bring the hands back down. Feel free to take extra breaths. Try to keep the movement transition smooth. Lower down. Adjust your shoulders. Inhale, stretch your front. Exhale, pull back. Step your left foot up between your hands. Back heel can be up or down. We're going to inhale, reach up in the high lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot. Stepping back, lower down. Adjust your shoulders. You're wide through your front. Inhale. Lift the chest. Exhale, pull the hips back. Couple of breaths here. Connecting the inhale with the exhale. You make your breath slightly audible to you so you can hear the sound of your breath, and you're almost trying to stretch the breath from inside. Good. End of your next exhale, walk forward on your tippy toes. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, let's fold again. Okay, deep bend in your knees. Inhale, keep the knee bend, reach the arms up. Exhale like you're swimming, come back to standing. Let's do one more. Inhale, skimming the floor with the fingertips, reach the arms up. Exhale, smoothly over, relax the head. Inhale up partway. Exhale, step both feet back, lower down, adjust your shoulders. Inhale, front stretch. Exhale, pull back. Now the right foot's gonna step forward as we breathe in. We'll lift the arms up. And then directly, we're gonna launch into another sequence as we breathe out. We'll open the arms and we'll sink down into our side warrior. Okay, so the hips are opening as the right knee moves to the right. Get nice and low, again, connecting breath with movement here. Even though we're holding the position, try to settle in, a sort of smooth quality to your breathing. Good. From here, I'm going to reach my left hand across to my ribs, and I'll take my right arm up and over, just holding the left side of the face. I can get a nice long side bend. And as I breathe out, I'm going to fold over and either place my elbow on my knee or starting to reach down my leg. Breathing in, make a long line from your left fingers to your left heel, the side angle position. So breathing here. So we'll stay for a few breaths, just kind of touchstones. Even though we're in this kind of seemingly still position, you're making micro adjustments with your breathing, with your focus on the connection between the breath, the movements, and the thoughts that come and go. Put your left hand on your hip now, your left hip. Straighten out your right leg. It's okay if you come up higher on your shin or your knee. And then we'll inhale as we take the left arm up for the triangle position. Again, connecting, smooth inhale and exhale. It's like you're polishing, constantly polishing a ball. That's the practice. You're just noticing those choppy, bumpy edges that we all have in our movements and our breath. From here, we'll bend the right knee again. We're going to make a transition into a balanced position by stepping the back foot in a bit. And then we'll center ourselves over our right leg, our front leg, as we float the back leg up, or even just let it be light. You might find some extra height, like a block or a chair, is useful for your right hand. And finding that balance point, that point of stillness. And again, that kind of refinement, that smoothness in the breath is one way that we can look for balance. When our breath is really agitated, our thoughts are really agitated and we're distracted, it's very hard to find that balance point in practice and also in life. So from here, exhale and slowly bend your right knee. Take a big step back with your left foot. Hands come to the floor. Inhale, we'll take a big step back with the right leg. Exhale, lower down. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, front stretch. Exhale, smoothly pulling back. We'll inhale here, then let's exhale and step up with the left foot. We'll come up back into our high lunge position. Breathing in, breathing out, open the arms out to the sides. So we're coming into our side warrior position. A deep bend in the front knee, approaching parallel with the front thigh. The arms extending, reaching out through the fingertips, energy through the fingers, energy through the hands. Good, the breath is continuous. Now I'm going to reach my right hand for my left ribs. My left arm's going to come up and over as I side bend towards the straight leg, towards the back leg. Good. On an inhale, come up and over. Exhale, elbow to knee, or reaching down the leg. Inhale, stretch the right arm up and over. Good. For our side angle position. And again, you can either look down or look up, but keep the back of the neck long. Keep the breath continuous. Linking the inhale with the exhale. Put your right hand on your hip as you breathe out. Inhale, straighten your front leg, your left leg. You can adjust your hand position. Next inhale, reach the right arm up. Now we're in our triangle position. Again, smooth connection. Inhale and exhale. If boredom arises, that's also part of the practice. So sometimes, boredom comes up. Can you encounter that also with the smoothness of your breath? And just invite anything in that is kind of coming into your field. Bend your front knee as you breathe out. Take a little step in with your back foot so you can shift your center of gravity over your front leg and start to float up. I'm in the forest here. Reach the back leg up as you float the arms. You might have something to use as a balance point for your left hand, like a block or a chair. Smooth, continuous breath here. Good. Next exhale, we're going to take a big step back with the right foot. Center the hands on the floor. Big step back with the left foot. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Stretch the front of the body as you breathe in. Breathe out, pull back. End of the exhale, we'll step the right foot forward. Again, we'll come up into our high lunge position. Good, now this time we're gonna fold straight over our front leg. So you can keep your front knee bent, that's one way to do it. Or As you fold, you can straighten legs. You get a bit more, it's a bit more of a hamstring stretch. The back heel now is going to turn down and into the floor. So you might take a little step to the left. That's going to give you a bit more grounding. Then the hands can either come to the floor or onto some height like blocks or a chair or a wall. Take an in breath as you lengthen out from your hips to the top of your head, and breathe out as you fold. It's like a waterfall over your legs. A couple breaths here just to establish that sense of grounding and that connection. You might notice that it's easier to feel your breath when you're still. And some of you will find it easier to find that flow, that continuity in your breath when you're moving. Okay, so either way, we have these moments of stillness, these moments of movement, but the breath is continuous. Good. Now bend the front knee again. The front knee bent, we're going to shift the weight into the front foot again. We'll come back to another balanced position, but this time the hips are squaring. The hands can be on blocks or on extra support. If you don't need the hands, they can come out to the side like wings. Holding here for a couple of breaths. Very good. And then bending the standing leg as you take a big step back with the back foot. Now we're going to continue with that momentum and shift our weight into the back leg. And then we'll shift our weight back into the front leg. Shifting front to back, you can explore the depth of your movement, right? So it's facing this way. I can stay high, or I can start to go low, maybe using my hands to help me, and explore a little bit more depth with or without the hands. I'm just going to transition from side to side a couple more times and make the transition itself really smooth, really fluid, like you're moving back to that energy practice that we started with. Okay, then from here, you're going to stop right in the center. We'll turn our feet to parallel if they're turned out. We'll have our hands tripoded in front of us. I'm going to inhale as we lengthen, and then we'll exhale as we fold over the legs. The knees can be bent or straight. Again, another moment of a little bit of stillness. Maybe it's easier to reconnect back to that continuous connection between in-breath and out-breath. Smooth, fluid connection. Good. From here, we'll come up high enough that it's easy to turn around towards the front foot, towards the right foot. Press the hands, step back, and exhale as we lower again. Inhale, adjust the shoulders back, lift the front of the chest, stretch the front. Exhale, pull straight back. At the end of your exhale, step your left foot forward. Inhale, come up into your high lunge. Now exhale, we're going to fold over the front leg as we attempt to straighten it and pivot the back heel down. Okay, so make that, sometimes that transition is a bit clunky. It might happen in a couple of breaths. You're using height for your hands. That's totally cool. Pull back through your hips, lengthen your spine. Inhale, exhale, fold over. Continuous connection between breath in, breath out, between one breath and the next breath. So the practice here, it's like you're sowing seeds, methodically sowing seeds that cultivate that aspiration in your nervous system. This is a wonderful way, this kind of practice is a wonderful way to build intelligence into your nervous system, more of that smoothness, grace into our movements. Shift your weight forward into your front foot. Hips are squaring now as you transition all the way into your front foot. The back leg gets light, with or without the support of your hands. If you don't need your hands, stretch them out to the side like wings. Breathing here. Let's try not to hold your breath even when it gets challenging. Smooth in, smooth out. Good. And then from here, big step back again. And again, we're going to shift our weight into the back foot. Shift the weight into the front foot. You can explore depth again, or just stay high like you're skimming the surface of water. From here, we're going to turn our toes out this time, and the hands are going to come to the knees. We'll breathe in here as we lengthen through the spine. As we breathe out, we're going to drop the left shoulder and give a little more pressure to the inner left knee. Breathing in, come up. Breathing out, drop the right shoulder. Give a little bit more pressure to the inner right knee. Inhale. Lift. Exhale. Drop left shoulder, push the inner left knee. In. Out. Good. Now inhale, come up to straight. Turn your feet to parallel and exhale, hinge straight over your legs. You can either take your hands back down again, or you have the option of bringing your hands behind you, interlocking your fingers, and bringing your arms up and over towards the floor. So working either variation, relax tension in your neck. Smooth, continuous flow, just observing without judgment any jagged edges in the breathing, any jagged edges in your movement. And again, it's a practice. Good, so holding here, last breath. Breathing in, release your hands, walk your hands around towards your front foot. Breathing out, big step back, lowering down. Adjust your shoulders back. Let's breathe in as we lift the chest. Stretch the front. Breathe out as you pull back. Good. From here, we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet, and we'll lower down into whatever depth of squat that you can find, whatever that looks like. So it might be elbows on knees. It might be heels up, hips down. It might be heels down. It might be elevating your seat on something like a block or some cushions. And that movement that we did a moment ago, where the legs were wider, we're going to try that same movement here. So I'm going to shift my weight to my left. I'm going to take the right hand to the inner right knee, and I'll draw the inner right knee away from midline. And I'll shift the weight to the right and move the inner left knee to the left. Do that one more time. Nice. Last side. Good. Then straight down the middle, lifting up through the chest. Use your elbows to push both knees out. And the chest lifts, the collarbones widen. Nice. And then take your hands behind you. We're going to come all the way down to sitting. If you're high, just get down in whatever way you can. From here, we'll stretch the legs out and work with a few seated postures. So from here, we're going to cross. So I'll do your mirror. We'll cross our right leg over top of our left and bringing my knees as close to the center line as possible. I can stay here with the right or left leg straight, or I could lean back to also cross the bottom leg. So now I have this kind of paper clip motion. Either way, you can stay where you are, grounding down through your sitting bones. Take an inhale through the top of your head. If you'd like, you can exhale and fold forward, whether you have one leg straight, or both legs straight, or both legs bent. You can turn it into a bit of a forward fold. A smooth inhale, smooth exhale. Nice. Coming up, if you went forward, we're going to switch our legs. So now I'll cross my left leg over top of my right leg. I can keep the right leg straight, or I can also fold the right leg. And I can stay upright or even further back. So it depends on what your hips are saying today. So it might be more of a back bend with the sitting bones moving down to the floor, or if you can keep the sitting bones grounded and you want to explore the forward space, go ahead and fold forward. But again, breath is continuous. Inhale and exhale. Taking out any jagged edges. And we come back again and again. And repeat. Inhale and exhale. Good. With your inhale, riding on that inhale, coming up if you went forward. And with your exhale, extend your legs out to the sides. And take a nice long or wide stance with your legs. Same thing, you can lean back, really rooting your sits bones into the earth, lifting up to the crown of your head, or you might explore the forward space out in front of you. Now, as we move into these postures on the floor, you can elongate a bit your exhalation, a little more than your inhale. So really find the bottom of your exhale, still linking it to your inhale. Relax the back of your neck. Good. Okay, if you went forward, come back up as you breathe in. Take your hands behind you as you breathe out. Bend your knees to about right angles, 90 degrees at your knees. So I'm pushing back with my hands, lifting up with my chest. Breathing in here, now I'm gonna take my right knee and internally rotate it towards the floor. Breathing out. Breathing in, I switch my knees to the ceiling. Breathing out, my left knee is going to come down towards the floor, internally rotating. Let's do that again. Inhale, knees come up to the ceiling. Exhale, right leg internally rotates. Breathing in, windshield wiper. Breathing out. Nice. Okay, from here, we're going to keep our left leg where it is, and I'm going to turn my navel in the direction of my left heel. So I'm really going to work to, it's like I'm wringing out my outer left hip, okay, with this internal rotation. I'm turning the right side of my waist towards my left heel. Good. Okay, now I'm going to turn the other way. So I'm going to turn towards my right leg. So I'm twisting my body and turning directly towards the right leg. So now I'm in this kind of pigeon variation. Over my right shin, okay, you can hold it here, or you can start to explore taking the left leg and reaching it a bit further back. As you reach the leg further back, that's going to increase the rotation in your front hip. Okay, so the alternative is I could be out on my elbow here on my side, okay? But as you deepen it, you're getting more and more over your right shin as you straighten your back leg, okay? So you're getting more into what we think of as the pigeon position. Okay, from here, you can stay in the forward bend version, or let's turn it into a back bend. So to turn it into a back bend, I'm gonna drag my back leg forward. I'm gonna press the front foot and shin down, and I lift my hips off the ground. The hips lifted, I lift up through the chest, start to roll the shoulders back. Inhale, take the hands behind the head. This is if you're doing the back bend version. Hands come behind the head, and you can lean back as you pull the hairline straight up. Okay, holding here. And breathing out, we're going to fold forward, shift the weight back onto the outer hip, and then we'll inhale and lift the knees, and we're going to transition direct to the other side. Okay, so now we internally rotate this right leg by turning the navel towards the right heel. Okay, so I'm moving away from the pigeon. In a moment, I'm going to come back to the pigeon on the other side, on the left side. But for now, I'm turning towards the right heel. And feel that ringing quality in the outside of your hip. Good. Now we go the other way. So we're going to turn over our front leg. This is our left shin this time. Folding forward. I have the option of just putting my weight on my elbow. So most of my weight's on my outer hip. But the more my weight comes over towards the center of the shin, I also have the option of extending the back leg. The more the back leg extends, the more it can internally spiral, internally rotate, and give me more space to fold forward. Okay, so you decide, you're basically going to the edge of sensation, right? And that's where we breathe. Continuous inhale, continuous exhale. You can stay with the forward fold, or you can add the back bend variation, which is to lift up first with your chest, and then we want to drag the back leg in. So I'm on my pigeon feet, okay, which are kind of broad-based feet. I'm lifting up through the chest. I can hover here to start to roll the shoulders back, or I can interlock the fingers behind the base of the neck, little fingers at the base of the skull, lifting up, lean back, open the chest. Good. And then fold forward. Shift your weight back onto the outside of your hip. Inhale, bring your knees up to vertical. And then from here, we're going to transition to the floor with the knees pointing straight up. So I'll turn to the side and we're going to round the spine. Let's see if we can come down in a nice controlled, smooth action, coming all the way down, that nice C curve through the spine. Notice where there's kind of natural bumpy edges. Once you get all the way down, we're going to lift back up by pressing the navel towards the floor. Okay, if that's difficult to do, you can use your feet to create some momentum. So you kick the feet forward, and then we'll do it one more time. So rolling back. Imagine the spinal vertebrae like gears, working one segment at a time. All the way down, all the way down. Very good. And then once you get onto your back, we're going to stay here. We'll walk the feet in. And let's inhale and lift the hips up. And then we'll exhale and come down. Okay, you can go a little further as you breathe in, lift the hips up, maybe taking the arms up as well. And breathing out, lower the arms down. So keep going with smooth inhales, the hips lift up, the arms maybe start to lift, breathing out, coming down. Okay, so you can continue with this kind of fluid bridge, or some of you will get up this next time and you might walk your shoulders under and stay here. Okay. You also have the option, if it's in your practice, to place your hands beside your ears. Inhale here, exhale, and come up into your wheel. Okay, so whether you're in a wheel or in your bridge, we're going to take a few extra breaths just to open that front body, pushing down through either your shoulders or your hands, down through your feet, open up through the front line, and then breathe out, come all the way down. Relax here on your back. Good, take a moment here. And we'll do that one more time. So before we do it, we're going to draw the knees in towards the chest. Pull in. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, place your feet down again. About hip distance apart, lift your hips up. Exhale, come down. You can go a little higher this time. Inhale, lift the hips up, maybe lifting the arms up. Exhale, come down. Connecting, smooth inhale, exhale. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, coming down. You can keep the fluid bridge coming up and down, or next time you come up, stay up. Feel free to stay here or place your hands beside your ears again. And exhale as you push down through your four points, four limbs. Okay, so whether you're going up to your wheel or staying in your bridge or in your fluid bridge, oscillating in and out. Smooth connection between inhale and exhale. It's like the kind of connection of the cycles of the tides, in and out, no break, in and out. Then exhale, wherever you are, come all the way down, hug your knees into your chest, pull in. Good. Hold on to just your right knee as you inhale, straighten your left leg. And exhale, pull your right knee in a bit more. So use the pressure of the knee on the belly to squeeze all the air out. Exhale, 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 exhale. And then hold the back of your right leg as you inhale and extend your leg. Good. Hold here a couple breaths. You can point and flex your ankle. Good. And then exhale and bend your knee, pull it back in, and use the exhale, the compression of the exhale and the pulling of the knee to empty, empty, empty. When you're on empty, let's inhale. We'll take the knee just a little bit away from us so we can grab the outer right knee with the left hand, and we're going to twist the knee across the body towards the floor. Doesn't have to touch the floor. Just think of taking your right knee towards your left. At the same time, your right shoulder stays pretty much in contact with the floor. You can adjust your arm position, whether it's over your head here or cactus arms, or just resting your fingers on your ribs. Good. Inhaling, come back up. Exhaling, bend your left knee in. Pull it in. Inhaling, straighten your right leg. And then exhale again, pull the knee in and use the pulling of the knee and the combined exhale to completely empty. So it's a bit of compression in the lower belly in the diaphragm. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Good. And then inhale, grab the back of the knee, extend, pull the toes towards you. You can flex, point your toes, and resist your leg away from you as you pull it in with your hands. Good. Exhale, bend the knee again. Pull it in towards the chest. And use the pulling of the knee into the chest to help empty the exhales. It's like you're squeezing out a balloon. Good. Inhale, fill completely, still holding onto the knee. The knee is going to naturally move away from the body a bit. Right hand comes across. Exhale and twist. So I'm bringing my right knee over to the right. My left shoulder stays down as much as possible. So wringing out the spine. Feel free to look over your shoulder towards your elbow or your hand. Naturally, the breath gets a little bit shorter or shallower when we twist. It's also getting to the bottom, that tidal air that we're squeezing out at the end of the exhale. It's like wringing out the last little drops in a towel. Then we inhale, come back up. And exhale, pull the knee back into the chest one last time. Good. And then inhale, straighten your left leg. Lift your head, see that your toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. So instead of letting your legs just fall out naturally as they relax, you're turning your toes up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to do a little rocking practice. So the hands are going to come by the sides and we're just going to point and flex the ankles. Generate some motion into the body here. Okay, letting go of bracing in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your belly, in your hips. So the whole body is rocking, shaking here from the motion of your feet. We just do this for about 10 more seconds. Nice. And then we'll just let that go. And we'll let the legs fall open. And here, observe the stillness that is still present, as if you're still moving. It's as if you're still rocking, observing the movement in the stillness and the stillness in the movement. to come into this comfortable, relaxed position. If there's any adjustments that you feel you need to make here to just find this relaxed posture, our final rest. Maybe it's a bit of support under your knees or the back of your head, or any movements that you feel you need to do before you can kind of feel comfortable. Now would be the time. And once you've settled into a comfortable position, any adjustments that you want to make, now we're going to consciously let go of trying to control the breath. Okay, so as we let go of that need to have this continuous inhale and exhale, cool thing about the breath is it's got this autonomic or automatic control. So it's like you're letting the air breathe you. As you let go and relax your effort, we're going to turn our awareness to that feeling of the special sauce, of the smoothness in our inner landscape, in our thoughts, our emotions, our inner experience. Spacious. You can feel the pushes and the pulls, which are just part of the everyday experience. The impulses to act. And just observe that. Observe that with a quality of smoothness, of flow. As if you were sitting on the side of a riverbank and just watching the flow of the river that carries your thoughts, your emotions. Noticing the pull, noticing the push. Staying with that practice of just sitting on the side of the river. Seeing, feeling the flow. So without disturbing the peacefulness of that space, just begin to notice the sounds in the room, the feeling of the air, your clothing on the skin, the feeling of your breath moving in and out, the light coming in through the eyes, maybe as you Blink your eyes open, colors, shapes, textures. I might start with little movements of fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. And if you're ready, you can stretch your arms and legs one last time, just breathing in new life and energy as you stretch, and then bend either one knee or both your knees so it's easy to roll to either side. And then we'll use our hands to come all the way back up. And find a comfortable seated position. So whatever that looks like, it could be up on something or on the floor or on a chair. Taking a long breath in and stretching up the spine. And taking a smooth breath out, just feeling the ground beneath you, that settling of the exhale. And in between the inhale and the exhale, just feel that dignity, that upright nature, that poise, smoothness in the body. Noticing once again how your movement practice informs your stillness practice, and vice versa. And then we'll close our practice together. So bring the hands to the heart space, and we'll take a deep bow. As we bow, we can acknowledge each other. We can acknowledge our teachers, past, present, and future, and ourselves, all the way back through our ancestors to the source. Thank you, everybody. So one kind of interesting thing would be to play with this quality. You know, it's very difficult. Obviously, that's why we practice. So it's difficult to sustain the quality of smoothness, and, but it takes practice, it takes patience, and just see how that translates into your day. Notice when you bump up against edges that make things choppy, make your breath choppy, make your movements choppy. And for me, that's kind of one of the reasons why I practice. I practice so that I can apply and move, hopefully, through life with more grace, more ease, and more smoothness, more equanimity.